Hey guys, we're NRG here, and we're gonna take a look at our best and worst plays of the split.
Dude.
Oh no.
Dude,
we've seen this extensively, actually.
We've reviewed this play like for like 2 hours before.
Yeah.
Christian's trying to explain.
There's nothing to be said here.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You said you reviewed it for 2 hours. What did your coaches tell you?
It was because
Okay, so we were like talking about how we wanted to like, because I'm a big fan of min-maxing plays. Like I want to like really play the line and play the limit as much as possible.
Yeah.
So
We shouldn't like.
I was just trying to explain to them how we can still be in between turrets, but like we can't let them walk through the turret. But they just
Play with
said
the
just
balls.
leave. But I'm like, no, but we can play here.
no, but the
I
thing
kind of
is that
side with our coaches a little bit. We always push it a bit too much. You know what I mean?
You know, you guys died in between the,
The best
towers is like the
players in
same
the world
thing.
will play the
Where
line.
You guys are dying between tier 1, tier 2.
That's cream.
The best players in the world will
hold on.
play the line. That's all I'm saying.
You're right.
True,
You
it is
could have
true.
been between the towers, and then after you weren't, then you shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But I'm
Yeah,
saying
well-
we should.
Oh no, it's starting up again.
Oh no.
Next whip, next whip.
EG, oh, pentakill.
Oh, no flashes!
I mean,
Look.
wait, but the only play that I did in this clip was
No,
already cut out.
Yeah,
the only
it
good
was
thing
the
I
best
did
play.
was flash, poppy
Yeah,
flash.
That was an insane reaction, bro.
Other than that,
I was actually so.
I'm actually just right
I was like,
people, bro.
holy shit, Victor, you're smurfing, bro.
Here, I tried to steal your penta, and then I was like, I'll be nice.
I
We
miss
need
Danny,
it.
bro. I miss Danny.
We actually need it for the mental. I don't know why I flashed either. Like, that was so dog.
Yeah, you were telling Juan to not tank, so I almost died actually.
Yeah.
No, because I was
I'm tanking, and then
Yeah, I was
the coach is
like-
like,
Yeah.
no, don't, and then I went away.
They couldn't leave, so just push the wave, man.
We need
Bro,
to
just
tank
get
kill.
the
Yeah, look,
kill,
yeah.
I
man.
know. I was like, but I want to do that. You guys.
Oh, I got a nice W here.
Yo, Niship is
Niship kinda
smurfing.
Look me,
Oh.
look me.
Oh my.
Oh my
me.
god, Jack Show.
That was actually a juice up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, good thing I didn't.
Yo,
get
I got
my
a 3-minute
off
moo.
Okay, we actually could have lost this fight, by the way, if
But
Kai'Sa...
I got kind of confused in this fight, I'm not gonna lie. Look at me.
Oh, like if he went on me?
No, bro, if Kai'Sa cleanse flash, he would have killed all of us.
Yeah.
And they all
Okay, but like,
yeah,
dude,
look,
Kai'Sa's so OP.
watch.
What is that? They need to reduce. They need. To
I just
reduce the
remember
duration.
baiting him at SR. I was laughing.
Dude, you know in our
If
game
he
today-
cleanse flashes here,
Yeah.
he can actually kill us all.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You have
mean,
them all.
I mean, dude,
Look how low he got, and
Dude,
he's knocked up.
Contractz is gonna beat him
Dude,
down with that
okay,
move.
I died to Kai'Sa mid today, like right as we were ending game 4. Like I'm like, bro, what?
yeah,
the
he was
Qs
like
keep
1
coming
HP,
out,
right?
bro.
The keys-
It was like
Like-
1 HP. I was like, you got him right.
He's not Jackie Love, dude.
Yeah, he ain't Jackie Love.
He just flashed so we could
Okay,
kill
okay.
this.
Look at Kai'Sa, by the way. Look at how I die. You can say I'm
taking it.
minting, but like, oh, okay. Look,
Okay,
look
let's
at
see.
me. Look at me.
Clicks W.
Okay.
Dude, okay, what is
W,
this?
auto-
What is that? What is that?
I mean, the champion's kind of OP. Not
You've
gonna
been
lie.
outplayed.
and I'm like, oh my god, I just
Imagine
threw the
thinking
game.
we
Like,
couldn't end
now
it.
we can't end. That was what I was
Imagine
like.
thinking we couldn't end.
I'm playing.
You're playing
Jax.
Gragas.
Oh god.
No, Christian Gragas, we gotta turn it
Oh,
off.
no, dude! Oh my
Why
god!
is Gragas eating out of the Lotus hook? That's
Dude,
what I'm
why
saying.
are you thinking I'm gonna take? I'm a great P Gragas.
Yeah, don't you?
Look at him in the
What are
back
you
line.
doing,
He's
Christian?
Okay.
Okay, you killed yourself there, but
looking
like,
like a goddamn blueberry. I mean, Tactic kind of
Wait,
went
Dhokla,
crazy
hop
here,
on him,
though.
bro.
I can't, man.
Why?
But I got so
I'm
mad.
dead.
Kill yourself for him.
I'm not killing myself for him. I'm
You have
just
a- you have a
dying on
fucking
top of
loot,
it.
or-
Nah,
Yeah,
but
but you mean
whoever
that.
drafted it said you wanted Gragas mid jungle is reported.
Well, actually, I got like.
Okay, but we were up 10K.
Doesn't
Like,
matter, dude.
can we
Yeah, we
actually
literally
blame the
got
coaches, or do we have to take some
mean,
Whose fault
accountability?
is it?
Well, it's a good.
It's a team effort.
We're a team. We're a team.
Team effort.
Definitely wasn't the 15 kills there.
Nah.
I definitely didn't kill myself 2 times.
Okay, but like we just trolled. Like it was what, triple a nib almost, and we just
10K
died
gold league,
because we
10K
got
gold league.
mind controlled into
Dude, we need to
Kazakhs.
hear more of IgNar, bro.
Yeah.
IgNar, bro. Next
Ignore, you can talk the whole
I
time.
don't know if you guys awake.
next play, you're gonna smurf.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it.
No one talk.
Okay.
What is this? I don't remember.
You should get a big engage on there. Yeah,
Oh,
I remember.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. You say go, go, go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, fuck off.
IgNar is f***ing smurfing, by the way. 4 man
well.
off.
That'll be the barrel.
Boom.
You know, that was massive, bro.
2-man knock.
No, I was keep thinking about like
crab.
the C9 play.
Okay, how did you not kill him, by the
Yeah,
way?
like before. Like we say it is
Yeah,
bad
Ivan, I
play.
was trying to give you the
Because
kill.
we
and you
give all
wouldn't,
vision.
and you died.
But I think it's
Otherwise,
good play.
someone
The
would go,
top, the top right.
No, when we get Nash.
You think he's getting away?
Oh,
I think
I'm
it's good
gonna
play.
get away,
he's
but
got
like,
new what?
I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, walking past him, I was like, this noob.
no, you're like, Niship, come top. I'm like,
Dude, we could have killed both.
how am I gonna reach Renekton, man? Are
Because you were gonna be
trolling?
behind him if you just came and you're like, just hit Nash.
Okay, guys.
Man, just kill him.
Just kill him.
We didn't need you on Nash. You're a f***ing horn, man.
I need a tank.
What, didn't we have like a set?
Yeah, I was definitely said you
Yeah, but I auto, like, it proc Seji.
Right.
So dumb, dude. And I'm like, oh my god, I just
Imagine
threw the
thinking
game.
we
Like,
couldn't end it.
now we can't end. That was what I was
Imagine
like,
thinking we couldn't end.
Dude, I was a bit fussed about it.
Wait, really? I mean,
Nah.
Tristana's so OP.
I'm at it. I'm like,
It's Jax
Yeah.
with no flash.
Yeah.
yeah,
No flash, no Zhonya's.
Welcome back, everybody. A reminder, tickets are officially on sale for the LCS Championship in Newark, New Jersey on August 19th and 20th. Head on over to Ticketmaster.com right now to claim your spot. Hope to see you there. We got somebody here on the desk that we're going to be seeing there, guaranteed as of yesterday's series. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Zven to the cast here for game number 2. I'm happy to have you, buddy. Woo!
Happy to be here.
Yeah, M&S is here too. Just came over and waved, but you don't know Walden.
Wait, who?
M&S.
Your mid laner.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
He came over and he's like, and Zen's just like,
I'm sorry, bro.
Well,
kind of messed up.
let me ask, what did you think of game number 1 there? Because that was a bit of a wild ride.
Yeah, that was a game.
It
The
certainly
Golden
was.
Guardians were ahead by 7,000 gold. They threw a Baron, then they ace NRG, don't take Baron, try to end, they can't end, they get counter-aced, lose Baron, and then they get aced again mid.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So how exactly did that happen again? How did we just blow a massive lead like that?
It was definitely a sequence of events over time, I would
Even when they were
describe it.
ahead early game, they were dying left and right for no reason. Like Rivers top def to K'Sante, the Gori 1k shot down in bot lane, that one team fight where Gori's pushing bottom getting bot tier 2, and they just die mid for like no reason in 45. I'm like, what is going on here? We're just dying for nothing.
That's where it started to look a little bit rough to me
what
too.
is
Is in the
going on,
mid
bro?
game when we just have the random picks all over the place. Like that one definitely hurt the War Machine a little bit. Stopped that tempo. I think if I'm looking at Golden Guardian specifically for this second game, obviously they got what it takes to win. Like they built a massive lead. It's
Their
just,
early game was super good.
yeah, the early game was awesome. They just need to clean up some of that Wild West stuff they're doing in the mid game.
When they were going for the end, did you think they were going to be able to end it all?
I thought
I thought it was going to be close, but I wasn't sure.
Personally,
That's a risky call.
we have a 20-second rule where if you're on the inhib tower at 20 seconds on respawn timers, you can probably end, depending on your champions, right?
Yeah.
They can time with the game. I thought it was a bit too close for comfort. You
or
could
3
just-
seconds if you have Ziggs.
Yeah.
One auto
Yeah, I
for
mean,
each
sure.
tower, and
you could just, take Baron and just win. For
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
But I respect it. I mean,
yeah, it was like a super risky call. The part that to me that I had to question the most is if you're getting slammed, I think that's a call you make.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Where it's like, okay, we just got a miracle ace. We're down 10k.
Absolutely
Let's
agree.
flip it, baby.
as
But
a support, I'm always more on the just go Baron, guys. and
yeah,
just win because I don't
you're
have,
already winning.
I have no damage to the towers as well. I don't know if you can end or not.
You're not unless you hit it for
I'm not the
43.
guy playing mid or ADC anymore. I don't have any damage to towers. Yeah. But I think for NRG, they really got slammed early game by the Rumble especially. They got to find a different pick against Rumble this game if they're
Yeah.
not going to ban it. They banned Jax over Rumble as top lane ban. I feel like you can't be opening Rumble and then getting slammed that hard in lane phase.
Yeah,
You're
that
getting
was a little
drove
rough.
at level 3 by TP Rumble. That's just too much power to the Rumble.
Licorice also, I think, played the waves really, really well
Yeah,
after that.
He's a very good Rumble player as
Yeah.
well in general. So I
He
think
just played so far
He was
past
the
the
first person to play that in scrims and in LCS, I think, as well.
Yeah.
When he got buffed earlier this split. So
It's interesting because obviously they're worried about the Jax because he's I don't know if you know how much Jax he's playing in LCS, but he's basically just playing Jax like every game,
Yeah.
right? Which is kind of like LPL, LCK style. A lot of those top laners who
Yeah.
are feeling confident will just say, I just pick Jax blind every game because they feel that Jax is able to actually just win in whatever matchup if you're good enough.
it's just interesting that they banned the Jax when the Rumble that was left open counters the Jax in lane phase. At least
Yeah.
Summit was playing this matchup, Rumble versus Jax, and he was winning really hard as the Rumble side against Jax. When
Yep.
they just picked the Jax. So it's just very weird that they just didn't do that as well themselves. They have Kai'Sa, so maybe they don't want to be too much AP, but they had 2 tanks with Kai'Sa as here anyway, so
Yeah,
What's
they
the
were
other
really
bit, right?
AP heavy anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, their coach obviously, I don't know if you saw the sideline interview, but Thinkar was talking about how that's why they went Trundle, have a lot of
Yeah.
physical damage, and the ulti, to be fair, did make Sejuani look like paper.
I also feel like the Maokai flex pick value wasn't that high to pick Trundle into like Rumble, Jayce series. It's not that great. If you're playing as K'Sante and the Sejuani, I would get it, but just the 1 tank comp. But no, it's like a half tank, I guess. But it didn't feel like it was the sickest counter pick ever to put Maokai support that game. IgNar is much better when he can play engaged champs than he's playing like the defensive type of supports.
Do you think any chance they'll first pick Rumble here? Because they banned Jax, they're on blue side. So Golden Guardians lost, they go red side.
I think based on FBI just having a massive Kai'Sa game, they probably just want to keep playing that, and they don't want to overload their AP damage in their team. So I think if anything, they're just gonna ban Rumble.
ban Rumble and Jax both.
Yeah, honestly, it's fine to admit that you just got slammed, you know, and you just want to ban that. It's not a problem. You won the game. Just take what you can get and just drop the ego.
All right, there it is. Rumble banned away. Game number 2. Ivern was also banned out in game number 1, so we're not going to see him in this game here either. Golden Guardians, I'm curious what they're going to go with. The Azir, they do not want to play against Palafox on that one again. He had a couple of really good ultis in the previous game, setting up both picks and team fights, so I like seeing the respect put on that too.
Yeah, he was getting FBI head early game with that one shuffle in the ball lane onto, I think it was Licorice in the tri-bush. That was a really good play by him. Getting that shuffle, getting FBI his Kai'Sa lead, which is really important because you need a lot of items on Kai'Sa to really like do the poke thing.
Especially after Zeri like lane swap towards top. Zeri was up like 1,500 gold, which I thought was actually a smart move because they could have just kept Licorice in that 1v1, but honestly, who cares? They got their Zeri ahead. So it was actually really important that they got a couple kills in a row
Kai'Sa.
For the Kai'Sa.
It's got to be Kai'Sa.
Yeah, it's definitely
when you win a game like this, you have so much confidence. You can pick Kai'Sa into anything.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, log in Kai'Sa, bros.
I mean, he died the one fight in the whole game.
Yeah.
And then everything else, he's just doing great.
So we're expecting it to be Kai'Sa then. What do you think is the response? Like, do you think
Jayce is open though? Jayce Maokai has been like picked in every single region and every single game has been open. A lot of teams don't want to give away both to any team, so often it's like one team picks Jayce, you pick Maokai type of thing. Golden Guardians are pretty good at the Jayce, so...
Where do you stand on the Rell Wukong stuff then? Because that feels like that's kind of falling out of priority a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends on your team as well. Both these support players are melee-only players. It's all about the engage, all about the tanks, so I don't like when IgNar is playing like Braum or Maokai. Same for huhi. I think those guys are just way better playing the Rell or the Nautilus, so I hope we see that this game.
Oh, Trist. So it's Trist Maokai. So instead of the Jayce, they're going for Trist. Stixxay is one of the few ADs that actually will play Trist bot as well. So it's actually a flex for Golden Guardians.
It's an actual flex pick, yeah.
It's not a, hey, you know, guys, it could go bot.
It's not a fake flex pick for sure.
Yeah.
I think Tristana bot lane with something like Rell is actually pretty good. So I think that could be something that Golden Guardians could look for here on their third pick. NRG.
We saw Palafox actually play this Trista matchup versus APA, and he was winning both sides of it. So he was actually looking pretty comfortable in it. So it would be interesting to me if they do actually flex it to try to get a different matchup for Gori mid, if there's something that he would be more comfortable in playing there.
I remember APA with a solo kill into question mark into getting slammed every single lane after that combo. Not a good combo for him there.
Good early game combo. Yeah.
I like this from NRG a lot. I think this Johnny could have been nice as well for Renekton there. But I like that they put Dhokla on the Renekton. It was previous something that NRG was very good at was playing Renekton and fighting Herald early game. And last game, when they couldn't fight the Herald, they were just dizzy in the early game. They had no idea how to play. So I like this pick a lot from NRG.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart, especially because knowing Licorice, if you go K'Sante here, he's probably just gonna play Gwen, right? Like he's gonna get a matchup that he wants to play, a style of champion that he wants to play. Yeah. In this situation, normally he would go Jax, but Jax is banned, so he's just going K'Sante, so it's just kind of like a neutralizing matchup, and you're taking Licorice off of a carry, which I think is kind of his biggest strength.
Yeah, I agree. He could have gone for something like Kennen maybe if he wants to play a more aggressive matchup, but I think it's totally fine to pick K'Sante. He was very good on this pick during MSI as well. He had a lot of good moments on it, so it's big comfort for him as well.
So standard stuff with the Renekton in top side, and then some very powerful poke with Jayce and Kai'Sa. Nice damage profile there too in the first half of the draft for NRG. K'Sante, Trist, Maokai, all just very solid picks in their own right for Golden Guardians. Lilia and Sejuani both banned out by Golden Guardians, so we will not see the Sejuani in this game. Means we also could probably bet on not seeing the Trundle again too. And the Rakan's banned out by NRG, so there's one of those engage supports that you were talking about, like these guys being melee players, they want to engage. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rell banned out here.
Yeah.
Nope, Ahri instead.
Might just be a handshake, Rell, Alice, Nautilus type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, they're obviously a little bit physical damage heavy on the Golden Guardian side, so there's maybe more of a chance of the Tristana getting flex spot and, get some AP and through mid, but a lot of teams also seem to like to play solo AP Maokai. It's like you just do Maokai as jungle Maokai, build demonic, and people are pretty chill with that, especially because Golden Guardians don't really have to worry about a super tank on NRG side. There's nothing that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, it looks like it's going to be support Maokai again, because, all right, we got Viego locked in for River.
Yeah, I don't really like Maokai support blind pick. I feel like it's a good pick into Nautilus. You can stop his hook when he hooks your UQ and then nothing happens, but just blind picking Maokai support. Not sure what happened in scripts this week.
How do you feel about Maokai Rell then? Because it's looking like that's probably going to be locked in.
I think this is favored for the Rell side. I think that Maokai can't really interrupt Rell's jump. You have to be too close to her, and at that point, the W already hits you. So even if you knock her away, it still hits you. So it's not as good as Nautilus matchup. I also just think that huhi, like I said earlier, he's much better on the engaged champs. Maokai can engage, or like start a fight rather, but it's not the same as the Nautilus or the Rell, and yeah, I think it's just not the best thing for Golden Guardians, but they know better than I do what's best for them, I think. So
He locked it in. Nidalee Renekton.
Okay.
they have confidence after last game.
Yeah, man.
After getting
Dude, that is
blasted in the early game, they're feeling really confident.
okay. I mean, I like that a lot from them. It's nice. Definitely a we're up 1-0 type of pick.
So it is going to be Lissandra mid. So they are flexing the Tristana down towards bot. So it is Liss, which I think Lissandra plus Viego seems like a pretty good pairing. There's a lot of upfront burst. And if you can get the first reset, you get the ghost out. Like there's a lot of burst damage on this composition. So I feel like it makes sense. And there's going to be so much pressure on NRG to get a lot done early.
Oh yeah.
So much pressure.
They do have the late game insurance with the Kai'Sa and the Jayce poke. And even Nidalee poke, I guess. But
yeah.
the
how
top
do you
side
5v5?
definitely gets outscaled. Yeah, they don't have a lot of CC besides the Rell engage.
Yeah. And it feels like
there's a lot of
anyone
tools to stop the
who
Rell.
goes in gets Lissandra ulted and dies, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can stop Rell from engaging this game. And Maokai ult, Tristana ult, you know, Viego can buffer his ultimate as well. So there's a lot of slippery slopes there. Slippery slopes. The slippery champs, I guess. I'm not sure about this Nidalee pick, honestly.
Yeah?
I feel like after you get slammed in the early game, you don't pick full early game, but maybe that's why they think they need more early game power. So
Right, just trying to remedy, hey, if we don't fall behind 5,000 gold, imagine how easy that is. Now we pick early game champions and take that approach. Which draft would you rather be playing on?
I think I'd rather play the Rell side of the bot matchup. But I would rather have the Viego Lissandra mid jungle than the Nidalee.
Okay, that's also fair.
So it's bot matchup or team matchup, or team combo rather.
But are you worried, like if you're talking about, okay, so you prefer playing the Rell side of the 2v2, but is this a 2v2 that you think you can create a significant advantage in? Because if it's not, then you should be playing more towards what your team advantage is, right?
Yeah, I think that Tristana can farm just fine this matchup bot. It's just the Rell is a stronger champ, I think, than Maokai support. I think Maokai's strengths are, you know, saplings and using Demonic Embrace to create those kind of like standoff powers. So, yeah.
All right, well, as we're just throwing some skill shots into the brushes here, checking around at level 1, let's go ahead and toss things over to Emily, who's standing by with an interview with the Golden Guardians coaches.
Hello, I am here with Coach Cheese of Golden Guardians. So first of all, before we get into this draft, I just wanted to say, after game 1, kind of how do you take the guys aside, calm them down? Like, what was the mental like after that game?
Yeah, it was rough. I think Spooks and I, like, we both thought like that's probably the hardest way game 1 could have gone for us. But we've been down a lot this entire year, so there's nothing out of the ordinary for us, yeah.
And then in this draft, obviously playing with the red side ability, especially with your team, to be able to flex the Tristana into bot. Another Maokai support, which is a little surprising. I remember when I first saw Barrel playing it, and now it's kind of spread throughout other regions to the LCS. What is the strength of this pick, and why are we seeing it so much already in the series?
I mean, he offers so much in every stage of the game with saplings, with his ultimate, with his W, even his Q. Like the knockback is really good versus Rell, for instance. And yeah, in this case, Jay really wanted it. This bot lane is something we haven't practiced too much, but that's kind of what we do. We first time stuff on stage. So yeah, just stay tuned for it.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like huhi. Well, I'll let you get to watching the game. Thank you so much for taking the time, and back to you guys at the caster desk.
Love that answer. How do you deal with losing? We're used to it.
It's the Bane monologue about being born in the darkness and molded by it. Golden Guardians putting in all the work with all the tough years up until now.
And then
we were born in it.
Then the Maokai support is useful because of his Q, W, E, and R. Yep, that is true. I agree with that.
A lot of good abilities in that kit.
Yep.
Well, Contractz off to a nice speedy farm here on the Nidalee. Is one of those champions that's very adaptive.
To do a little invade here, maybe a gank bottom. Not going to his top side camp, so he's looking for a bot lane gank with the Rell.
Should know that River is just on the chicken camp.
He's spotted.
Q flash from IgNar maybe?
They're already going in. huhi's the target. They throw out the spear. It's a miss. huhi's still getting jumped on. There's no way out for him. Contractz saying I could give it to my AD carry, but I'm on Nidalee. First blood over the side of Energy.
And getting Nidalee accelerated is actually pretty important, especially because he shows there. They know that the top side is going to be available. So River actually not feeling confident to take any of this because Renekton had pushed top. So Renekton moves down to cover the jungle. So he's not going to be able to steal anything away, which actually really sucks for Golden Guardians because normally you would expect, you know, if top lane is neutral, your jungler gets a camp or two there.
Yeah. I think, nice plan from Contractz to be a bit more active this game, helping his lanes. I think this is a little bit of a risky play. It doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, he found a good angle there.
Yeah, and I mean, the wave is so far up, right? Huhi was in the front brush. He flashed from the front brush to the second one, but he got stunned.
He was hit by the Rell spells without Rell flashing on him, but he flashed himself, so he must have been very overextended there. It's a little... I guess he didn't expect it. I think most teams expect Nidalee to path up to the Renekton lane, try to dive level 3. That's why you pick this combo so often, is just to W, spear, it's dead. So maybe he didn't think he was going to come down there.
IgNar with over 1,600 assists now in his LCS career. Dude has been a part of a lot of plays being made, but I mean, when you think about IgNar as a player, he's always been, it's what you were talking about, Zven. He likes to play melee, he likes to play engage, he wants to set up the kills, so I think a pick like Rell is perfect for him, and I'm glad that NRG ended up going with that, especially now that they're already off to the races down here in the bottom lane, getting a nice little bit of a lead from that first blood thanks to Contractz. Feels good.
There's also an opportunity to just repeat bot if Huhi pushes up at all now, because you have no flash on Huhi, you have flash on IgNar. Q flash crashdown, even with like a lane gank, if he's pushed up at all, is a pretty free kill there for Contractz. So they're gonna have to be playing really safe around it. I think keep saplings and all the different approaches. And we can see that River did base, he's heading straight out towards bot, so may feel they need his cover.
Yeah, it can be really hard to manage a wave as Tristana, thanks to the passive of the E. So once NRG crashes this wave, they could pull it backwards and just, you know, force Golden Guardians to take a 2v3 or something like that. But I think they will just be fine with just pushing as well and maybe looking for some early game dragons or something like that with Nidalee. You kind of want to make the game more accelerated when you play Nidalee. You're fine farming, but you don't farm that fast until level 6, from what I'm understanding of the Nidalee champion.
Well, let's see if he can get involved in something else up here in mid lane as Gori's getting jumped on by Palafox. Takes a chunk of damage, but Contractz did have to walk over the ward to approach here. So that last shock blast, not accelerated, still going to make contact. But now that Gori's got level 6, there shouldn't be an opportunity for NRG to just immediately burst him down. Jayce and Nidalee obviously both having plenty of damage, but no CC to prevent the self-cast ulti makes this play a little bit more difficult to execute.
I mean, Contractz is still here, so clearly they think they can get something. But now with River behind him, this could actually go really bad if they look for this play, because they don't have eyes on River.
Waiting over the wall, Contractz jumps in. There it is, the self-ulti forces the flash back out of the NRG jungler. They continue stepping back up though to the skies. Gonna force Gori to flash away back to the safety of his turret too.
That was actually a really good flash from Gori. That's one of those instances, if he just kept going with the claw, he would have died, so he had to reactively flash out. So at the end of the day, it's a trade of flashes, Contractz for Gori. So not as bad as I thought it was gonna be for NRG when I saw River there for the counter gank.
I agree, but I think Gori could have maybe just ulted Contract when he jumped in there. I think he wouldn't get one shot by the jump in. So
does it disjoint the pounce if you ult in midair? Because I know like some things like Lee Sin, for example, if you stop in midair, it cancels the Q damage.
Thunder ult definitely stops people midair, like jumps like Tristana, but he might just die to the. It's a close call, I think. You could maybe like even just flash away and then ult him or something like that. I think there was an angle there for Golden Guardians to fight. But nonetheless, the play is even at the end of the day. Flash for flash and an ultimate, I guess. So a win for NRG, but
engage! Flash from IgNar leading the way as Stixxay's down to 100 HP. He gets himself back underneath the tier 1. Huhi blocks NRG from being able to follow up any further. Golden Guardian's gonna have to retreat after that one, but they're happy to keep their AD carry alive.
Nice buffer there on the jump from Stixxay. It was it's a hard-felt time, Rell W, so not bad there from him. Flash for cleanse, good trade.
Dhokla going in here with the Dominus. Licorice forced to fall all the way back to his own turret. Still has his flash, still has the all-out. Kai'Sa at low HP underneath his own turret with his ulti is a spot where many a top laner has found their doom. So
Nidalee's coming up, and the thing is, even with River around, if Licorice just gets one shot and a stun.
There it is! Contractz puts a spear in him, and NRG pick up their second kill of the game thanks to the jungle Nidalee.
That's the thing, it's like River's there to respond, but what are you gonna do? You can't react to that.
Stun, spear, dead.
Yep, flash, stun in. And it's just, he was just too low, right? It's so risky to do that. I think from that situation, River actually needs to be standing under the tower with him. I think he was thinking about it from the mindset of, we'll get a counter gank and turn it around. But like, he needs to be there and block the spear if you get flash stunned.
Yeah. Dhokla also flash stunning Licorice to make sure he can't react in time with the Pathmaker to be, what do you call that? Unstoppable.
Yep.
So, nice play by them. It's worth noting that he used his ultimate to do this though, so they can't do the Herald now. So I think Golden Guardians might get the Herald here. Seems to have a very strong mid-jungle 2v2 at Herald fights. Without the ultimate from Dhokla, I think they can't really compete. So it might just be a free Herald here for Golden Guardians.
It's also spellbook for Gori, which I do really like. If you're just gonna play a neutral lane, you get so much value from this. I feel like later on.
I think he took heal earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah, he just was on heal after he used his flash. You can watch this one more time. This is where I just think if River is there under tower with him and he blocks the spear, maybe there's a potential for him to actually get out of the stun, but it would have been tough either way. But well played by Contractz, and Contractz able to get a kill in bot lane, get a kill in top lane. Looks pretty unfazed there, but great start to his Nidalee.
Sweaty hands.
Yeah, gotta make sure that it's like, oh, I hope this doesn't mess up. Kai'Sa tower dive. Palafox trying to get this last little bit of a wave pushed out here. Gori's almost completely out of mana. Nearly has the TP ready to go again. Same story being told here for Palafox. Worth pointing out, we saw it as the camera panned bottom after the play top, but pretty much as soon as huhi's flash was good to go again, he had to once more use it because FBI tagged him with a Void Seeker, and he was potentially in danger of a second death there in bottom lane. So still one of those potential targets for the side of NRG as Dhokla continues to trade aggressively into Licorice's Kai'Sa. Plus 900 gold for NRG. Peak was about plus 1.5k so far for these guys, so Golden Guardian's making a little bit of it back by taking the Herald, and I'm still curious how much value they're going to be able to get out of the activation of that eye.
So what I want to ask you, Zven, is how far ahead do you think NRG needs to be with this comp to be comfortable? Because they're not taking any dragons.
It really depends on who has the gold. If Kai'Sa has a 1,000 gold lead at this point in the game, you're chilling. Like you're set, right? But if it's Nidalee only who has all the gold, he can die one shot in a team fight at any point and then be useless. And also the spears are a bit narrower than the Kai'Sa W's to dodge, so... oh, hang on.
Well, Licorice using the all-out to get away from Contractz. It's ulti for
13.
ulti trade from top laners. Licorice will escape.
That champ, man.
Yep.
It's that champ. He does the thing.
What are you talking about? He's incredibly...
That's the thing where he just jumps around a little bit. But yeah, I think if NRG's gold is on people like Palafox and FBI, I think that they're... Oh.
huhi and Stixxay wanting to fight this here with the 2v2. Maokai ulti finds FBI, but the cleanse immediately as the response. Contractz and Dhokla want to set it up on Licorice here again as Stixxay and huhi back away in the bottom lane. Dhokla going in for the dive here, trying to use that Pathmaker to get away, flashing back to the other side of the turret. Licorice just outplayed him. He might be able to even find another. The third and Tofo strike is ready to go. Somebody get the pasta ready. Kai'Sa with a 1v2. Gori coming up now, ready to lock down Contractz and make good on the second half of this outplay as Contractz falls. Shut down over to Licorice. Golden Guardians tie up the game.
Licorice played that so well. This time he did get the unstoppable with the Pathmaker on the stun there, so was able to actually negate so much of that damage with the damage reduction.
He bought time as well.
Yep, had a great flash.
Contractz' flash was like 3 seconds when he died there at the end. I guess it was timed perfectly by huhi. The first all-pro support there.
That's some salt
I'm joking, guys. He deserves it. But yeah.
From the support prince?
Yep.
Support prince, according to All-Pro. But really, really well played by Licorice here in this circumstance. He was low, he had no ult, but great W, great flash, buys time. And at the end of the day, he got both of those kills, including the shutdown off of Contractz. So now, this Nidalee Renekton combo that you draft, well, Licorice is actually ahead in the 1v1. Like, he's got his Iceborne, he's gonna have Tabbies here.
He's set for life.
Yeah, like, he's chilling now. So this is gonna be really rough now for NRG, because when you start playing goes bad as Nidalee, there's no like fallback plan. You just have to keep making plays and hope that you can snowball the game.
The skill isn't that bad if you're ahead. You can keep poking from Fog of War, but they lost both neutrals this game. They lost both the Herald, they lost the first Dragon, one more coming up in 3 minutes. It's gonna be a good soul this game as well, with Gemtech and Cloud Soul out of the equation. So honestly, the goal lead isn't that good. Right now, it's obviously a big spike. Hang on.
Gori deciding to turn it back around. He's got River behind him, but the Magnet Storm locks them both down. I don't think that was the play. River escapes. huhi coming in here with a Nature's Grasp trying to follow this one up. River is low, but he's still alive for now. huhi, River, and Stixxay looking to turn back on the Palafox, but FBI is going to kill her instinct, and River is down. IgNar survives. Palafox, Contractz, and FBI looking for a little bit more damage. Accelerated Shock Blast onto huhi, but he'll walk it off. NRG goes in. Golden Guardians think they can stand and fight and immediately get shut down.
I was gonna say, right now they have an advantage that they have Mythic item on Contractz, and River just bought his after he died, so they shouldn't fight right now, but then they just flashed in. Gori had stopwatch, maybe he thought he could like flash in, ult them, and then stopwatch and buy time for the reset or something, but that fight is so unnecessary to take. They could just... Well, they're heralding as well, that's why they want to fight, I guess. But IgNar was here first, and they saw him, and then they still went in afterwards.
Yeah,
2v3. What?
I mean, it feels like they really underestimated.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Stixxay is coming as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't realize how far away Stixxay was and who he was, because they were obviously making the move, but yeah.
Maybe if you have the Lissandra on Viego, there's an angle where you get a 1-for-1 reset and then you can carry the fight from there, but that seemed like it wasn't even like anywhere close.
Little bit audacious there. That's
The duality of coach
yeah,
members.
that's the coach reaction I was expecting after that one. So
Top out plate, let's go, and then oh my god, guys.
it's just like, did we really do that? Was that really the call? All right, River trying to use the Herald path to creep around the edges here, make sure that Energy's not setting up something else here against their own mid laner, as it's 1 minute and 15 seconds till the next Drake spawns. Zven, you already pointed it out, it's the Golden Guardians with that first one, also the team that was able to secure that first Herald. And as Energy is just going to continue farming up down here in the bottom side, Void Seekers flying off, but those aren't going to be a huge problem until we get some more AP on the Kai'Sa. Static Shiv is fully completed. There is that item power spike advantage for the AD carry of Energy versus that of Golden Guardians.
What?
Maokai ultimate is going off to Zimbabwe.
Was that like a scouting ultimate or a misclick?
I mean, I think you can just use saplings for scouting.
Yeah, it seems like a misclick, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, it has to be.
Okay, well,
Okay, yeah.
that's cooldown spent, so
You won't
Golden
have it,
Guardians
but-
are, yeah, they're not going to have that tool for the dragon fight, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate indeed. I think they're gonna have to give up the dragon now. They are behind a fair bit of gold. But the only thing this comp can do for Golden Guardians is fight. They don't really have any like side laning power or like split pushing or something. They can scale, but they kind of want to just fight right now. They have mythics on everyone, so.
but it looks like Energy
Have
might
to
be
fight.
playing towards Herald, so Golden Guardians are still moving down towards Dragon again. Like, they're feeling relatively confident, it feels like, even without the Maokai ult. And they do have, you know, Everfrost down now. They have a lot of lockdown. If you can get that first kill for Viego.
Gori gets jumped on there, takes the claw back out, but with To the Skies and the Accelerated Shock Blast both hitting, the enemy mid laner is now down to about 1/3 HP, so Energy knows that they're in a good spot to fight for this bottom side river, to fight for this vision, this control, this objective. IgNar's gonna gallop forward. Huhi, River, and Stixxay all just hanging out together as a grouped up 3-man squad. Energy, though, have a 4-man squad of their own ready to go. River using the Spectral Maul to create a little bit of extra distance, so IgNar isn't able to catch up to him here, but nice poke. Stixxay at half HP. Gori now resetting, coming back out of the base, but he does have the Unleashed Teleport ready to go. Also available, that Summoner spell for both top laners if they want to get involved in any kind of a fight.
Yeah, there was actually some pings from Golden Guardians on those wards in the side brush.
Yeah,
in bot lane. So I think they were trying to see if they could get them to engage and then get Gori to come in. But at the end of the day, they don't commit to it. Stixxay gets poked down, so now there's no use in using TP. You just have to give up the dragon. And going to be a slight victory here for NRG. You can even see Dhokla just sitting in base, so he's waiting to see if there's any sort of a challenge that he can TP on.
I mentioned it earlier, but if you have control of the area, it's very easy to hit poke as Nidalee and Jayce and even Kai'Sa. So if they have the zone first and they're sitting on it, they can always hit that poke and then win the fights before they even start.
It feels like in situations like that, that's when you need your top laner not to be TPing, but to be grouped before the fight, so they can be the first one to walk in.
Yeah, they kind of need huhi to put a TP board somewhere so that Gori or Licorice can get a good angle for like the all-out insect type of play, or some sort of Gori flank into Viego, gets a reset, and then carries fight from there. Tristana as well, right? Very good champs at like, once fight is like 1 kill in, they win the whole fight from there. Thanks to Viego and Tristana carrying everything from there. But NRG doing a good job at taking all the vision away from Golden Guardians. They have one ward in the top side here where Jayce is right now. They can maybe use that ward if it lasts long enough. I think they kind of have to TP behind. It's the only way they can win, I think.
The gold lead's still about where it was a few minutes ago, so at least if you're Golden Guardians, you know that Energy aren't building that up into anything greater. They still do have the Nidalee as the clock marches forward, so you can always hope for that moment that you were talking about earlier, Zven. If you just find him, blow him up in one team fight, boom, that lead's useless, he's down. The Rift Herald has spawned here again, and it's Energy committing lots and lots of dudes to this topside river, immediately ready to clear out some of the vision from Golden Guardians, who are also ready to fight for this. You can see the 4v4 square off with Gori versus Dhokla in the bottom lane. Both of those players having the Unleashed teleports ready to go to join if this turns into a fight. Energy are going to start up the Herald as IgNar rotates his way back over to the mid lane, helping FBI push that one up. Stixxay will have to answer. Energy with control over the topside river. They'll start this up. River's on the back side of the pit. The Void Seeker flying out. River's at only 40% HP. But the Golden Guardians want to commit a teleport. Same thing's going to be done from Energy now. Gori taking a little bit of poke. Takes the claw in, but he only finds IgNar. Maokai ulti coming in over the wall is FBI. Going to get jumped on, popping the cleanse. Stixxay wants to go in after him, but Gori's still at only 300 HP on the other side of the fight. Dhokla's gone in, but Licorice and River are trying to keep him away. The Croc is low. The Herald is going to be secured by the side of Energy as River tries to use the Heartbreaker back over the wall, but he barely escapes. Dhokla gets picked up by Licorice. Gori and River barely survive. Golden Guardians end up getting the 1-for-0 in kills, but the Herald goes over to NRG.
Man, I cannot believe no one on Golden Guardians died there. Gori and River were so low, and that initial start of the fight looked like it was going to be really bad for Gori.
Yeah, that looked terrible to start the fight from Golden Guardians. TV board was just not good enough. It's too far away from everything.
Yeah.
So Golden Guardians, I think, should be happy that this was somehow the outcome of this. They also got top tower on Licorice there afterwards, so I think that's the first tower of the game, isn't it?
Yep,
So that
should be first
not
tower.
bad as well. Licorice actually really strong in this game. This engage was just not it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really forced, right? Like you say,
Yeah, and
you
River's low
almost
HP as
almost need like a ward back here, right? Like if you can TP back from that spot, then the Maokai ult is coming in from one side, the Lissandra comes in from the other side, and that's where you're getting pincered. But it felt like they're just calling for Gori to start the fight, and he kind of has to just overextend so much to do it, because NRG are always going to try to kite back, disengage, and poke you as you look for engage.
I think that control of the area is too important. So Golden Guardians should have just given up the Dragon earlier and then try to go here to the Herald side first and have control of it. So they can have TP wards, they can have flanks. They just can't fight like straight up like that. You saw River was low HP already before the fight started. Like, one spear or one shock blast and he's just half HP. So they really need to have control. You see like same thing here. One spear hits and it's
And there is so much poke, right? It's triple poke champs on the other side.
dodgeball.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's funny to say, but it's kind of true, right? At the end of the day, especially with Kai'Sa, because Kai'Sa is just like, once she starts hitting Void Seekers and starts hitting cooldown reset, it gets so oppressive.
Yeah, right now it's okay, but once it gets the Ludens, it starts getting really bad.
Do you think that then it should be to a state where it's like NRG just plays through sides with Jayce, try to force K'Sante to answer there, because then there's no one to actual block poke, no one to actually walk in first? Do you think that 4v4 is preferential for NRG, or is it better to have everyone there, even if it means Licorice is with the team too?
I think Golden Guardians needs Licorice in the fights.
So I feel.
He's like, he has all the gold this game. He has the first tower, he has 3 kills. He's the 2 items right now. He's by far the strongest person in the game, actually. So I think Golden Guardians need to include him in the game. They want a 5v5. FBI and Palafox aren't there yet, but very soon on the 2 to 3 item spike is when they get strong. I think both teams are just going to do the same thing this game. One team is a poke comp, the other team wants to find the engage. That's why I didn't like the Maokai and the Viego that much, because I don't feel like Golden Guardians have the engage to stick on this poke comp. They need more. They need like a Rell or Nautilus.
Have a Rakan or
like CC that actually sticks, right? Like hard CC, like knockups or the hooks, for example.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for Golden Guardians to find a reset for the Viego unless there's a massive mistake from NRG.
Or a really good flank, like you were talking about earlier. Which kind of requires them to get pushed, get to the objective first. And no one has moved into that bot side around the river, right? So if they want to play for this next dragon, there is an opportunity to try to get some vision around that, but let's see if they can do it.
Void Seeker flies out and misses. Second fully completed item there for Gori, the Banshee's Veil. So Lissandra with not a very high damage build, but the Everfrost and the Banshee's Veil going to give some utility there. Still have the stopwatch that he's had in his inventory for a very long time and has not yet used in any of these fights.
I think that's his rune, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so he had the whole game.
I mean, he's only died once, so really there's only one opportunity that he could have used it. So it's not like it's any sort of big mistake there, but they are playing down on this bot side. They are already first on the dragon, but now Golden Guardians is split, so things get awkward as the Herald's going to get dropped too.
Yeah, Herald summoned up here.
Look at that poke.
If nothing else, it'll be a distraction. Gori's still down in the Drake pit as the Void Seekers continue flying out and finding targets. Maokai ulti used by huhi, but he's taking a lot of damage here on the approach. IgNar trying to back up, but they got to be careful about the counter engage. Magnet Storm on a 2. River's going to be the target. Has to Heartbreaker back away again. The Golden Guardians having such a hard time getting close to NRG here. Yes, the Herald died before it was able to get a charge, but NRG end up taking the fight easily. Half health on Stixxay, on huhi, on Licorice. River and Gori both still doing all right, but NRG have such a massive advantage in terms of HP. They can force down the tier 1 turret, Herald or not, and have control over the bot side.
They still have to engage. The Maokai ult comes out, nothing happens. Yeah, no one follows it up. There's nothing. There's no hook. There's no anything. No poke. No nothing. So they just can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Lissandra was trying to come from the bot side, but Dhokla marked him, and you can't fight through him.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So frustrating for Golden Guardians to play this game. They feel like they have no choices at all. They have to just give up every single neutral.
It feels like they have to be first to the dragon, all 5 there, right? Because they had 2 members on it, and River was kind of starting it, and I think that they thought the other 3 could play through mid, get pushed, and then come down. But NRG just had all 5 members in between them. So it became this really awkward situation where then they have to force a hard engage, but they don't really have the angle to do it.
I think Gori just has to like, he was at a dragon at some point, hitting with River. He has to just claw over the wall and skins the chicken pit or something for NRG and just send it. You can't just stand there and wait for one spear to hit one Void Seeker and
Something
then you're just half
eventually.
HP. Just go.
Yeah.
And just send it, and if you lose, you lose. Then blame draft next game, you know? It's,
Yeah.
it's what it is, you know? Sometimes
Alright,
you're
let's
out drafted
play.
and you just gotta admit that your comp is hard to play and you have to just, oh, hang on.
Wow, Licorice going for the solo kill on Dhokla here. Not afraid to use the all-out. Dhokla getting away, had to flash to escape the third and Tofo strike that would have knocked him back into his own death. Golden Guardians now, though, they know that they've got their strongest guy down there in that 1v1. Both top laners low. Licorice completely out of mana there for a second. That's going to reset as the all-out expires. But now he'll be able to take down the tier 1 turret, get some of that gold back, bring this game a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And it's what you were talking about, Zven. If this guy's in a fight, Golden Guardians have a chance. But if he's not there, don't go.
Yeah, it's that simple.
I mean, at least he's creating some sort of an opportunity, some sort of action on the map for them. Almost gets a solo kill, does force out the ult, does force out the flash. So that is a bright spot for them, but it does become very, very difficult, I think, to play this game. I do expect that Golden Guardians are going to be really early to the next dragon and just try to send it, right?
Or not be that at all.
Yeah. Well, that's the other option, I guess.
This thing where they show up to the objective later than their opponents, and then they don't have control of the line bushes or the pixel bush or anything, and then they just eat spears or shot blasts, and they're like, well, guess we lose. And then they leave. They could at least just give the objective and then take control of Baron side, right?
Right, get a turret somewhere.
Yeah, try to get a tower somewhere, get some control of Baron, and then maybe you can find a fight in there with your Lissandra or something like that. Just going there and losing is just useless, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's tough. I mean, because they lost game 1 and they were in a really good spot in game 1, now the pressure is way more on in this game. Right? You're obviously joking a bit, but it's like, you can say, oh, blame draft, go next game, but then you're at match point, right? So it's like, you definitely do not want to give this game up. You need to find a way to problem solve. And I will say, these poke comps can sometimes look impossible to beat, right up to the point that they make a mistake.
So frustrating.
And then if they make a big mistake, though, then it can exactly right. Like it could be that one big team fight where they find the angle or NRG makes a mistake, and you can wipe them off the map, and things can go so bad so fast for poke comps. Because then if you're pinned in your base against a Baron buff or whatever, it's really hard to actually find angles.
Feels so good once you finally get to them and you take them all out.
They're just slapping you back and forth the whole game.
Finally.
One of the best feelings in League of Legends right
There's
there.
so little engage on the side of Golden Guardians. They really Stixxay. FBI has to cleanse. Palafox is at full screen away the whole time. I haven't seen him on the same screen as Gori since laning phase, right? So it's just hard to find a target really that dies.
Well, Gori and huhi both have their flashes up at least, so Golden Guardians have those resources available for this next fight if they do want to try to hard force something. That next Drake will be spawning in under 2 minutes now. Just about 26 minutes into the game, it's a plus 2,000 gold lead for the side of NRG. The Kai'Sa and the Jayce both about halfway to that third completed item that you guys were talking about being the power spike, where this poke becomes really and truly obnoxious, because once Kai'Sa's got the Ludens, you have all the AP, constant W spam.
Half HP off one spear.
Yeah, the spears are not treating him very kindly. The Night Harvester plus Shadow Flame plus Sorcerer Shoes is just so much magic penetration and extra damage.
Yeah, once the Ludens get in here, Cyril does, it starts becoming a... What's that? Him just evolving right there in front of him?
Might have been. That is definitely rough, but at the very least, one thing that is nice is Stixxay is going to go Bloodthirster third, and then he can start to start off a lot of poke, but this Baron might just be theirs, because it's going to be so hard for Golden Guardians to walk in. I think they're aware that it's going on, but can they actually get over there fast enough to do anything about it?
Yeah, IgNar's trying to stop River from showing up here. The Magnet Storm being used. They want to keep him away, but River's ready on the approach. He's only got 100 HP left. He wants to go in over the wall, but the Baron's going to be secured, and River is already down. Stixxay coming in from the side as he's taking a 20% HP, and he's going to be popped by FBI with a killer instinct. Stixxay drops. The Golden Guardians have no chance. Licorice is all out, but what's it matter? He's in a 1v4. Not even Kai'Sa wins these. IgNar's on the chase. Another Void Seeker finds his heart. Golden Guardians lose the Baron, and they lose 4-1.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. I mean,
got a spear to the face. W from Kai'Sa, a few more. They base. No vision. Start Baron.
I want to see how close this steal was, because River did get in the pit with almost no HP. If he steals it, it was really close. Okay, so it's down to 23, 1600. He goes in. Oh, he smited to 79, I think I saw. That was really, really close to actually being able to steal. I don't know how much of a difference it makes in the fight. Stixxay was coming around the side, but he unfortunately does not have Licorice with him. He doesn't have that guy in front of him. So they just kind of turn on him and just instantly one-shot the Tristana.
I mean, NRG made it work, but I feel like them starting Baron is like maybe Golden Guardians' only link condition in this game. It's like a Baron throw from NRG, so a little risky, but I respect it. They're feeling it, and they're playing this Pokemon really well. So
Yeah.
you know, I was a Nidalee hater in the draft. I always am a hater of Nidalee, but they're making it work this game. From early game to mid game, a lot of spears been hitting.
And
so,
they're
well played,
accelerating the game. That's the other reason why I like them going for the Baron there, even if it might be a lost condition in another timeline, is because I don't want to see you playing Nidalee at 45 minutes. I don't want to see anyone playing Nidalee at 45 minutes, right? You want to end the game faster than that. And it looks like that's what they're looking for here, as IgNar has to use the crash down to get away from River off to the side. The Drake has been secured. It's now sole points for the side of NRG as the accelerated shock blast knocks off half of River's health bar. Dhokla's putting the work in on the mid lane tier 2. The Crocodile hasn't had the greatest game here. The K'Sante matchup has been a bit of a struggle, but it's not really him that's the focus of the comp, the focus of the game right now. They're up 7,000 gold with those 3 Drakes to only the 1 of Golden Guardians. They've smashed 5 turrets. The only structure left standing outside of the GG base is the tier 2 in top.
Yeah, there's a lane ward in the bot lane right now behind where the tower is, so looks like Golden Guardians knows their only hope at this point is a TP behind and just send it. So I'm thinking that if NRG goes topside here, that huhi will try to get some wards behind in the jungle or in the lane, just anywhere behind them, so that Gori can finally find an actual angle to get River a reset, because the way the fight's been going so far, it's just not working for Golden Guardians. They need the flank. They need to have an angle that isn't just front to back.
I mean, Viego hasn't been able to get involved in anything the entire game.
Yeah,
right? He's
he hasn't played the game yet.
Yeah, like he hasn't been able to do anything. This is one of those games where Viego's gonna have a couple thousand damage done at the end, right? He just
it's one of those games.
He hasn't been able to hit anything. I don't even think he's trying to play passive or anything like that. It's just he can't get in range.
The wards.
Yeah, they're playing it really well.
They stick here.
I feel like one of the things that is really nice about this comp, like they're playing Nidalee, which obviously receives a lot of criticism, but the fact that they're pairing it with the Jayce and the AP Kai'Sa gives you such an overwhelming amount of poke. I feel like when teams... Okay, here we go.
FBI's the target. Stixxay's jumping in. They're ready to send it here as Gori wants to go over the wall with the claw, but immediately he's going to get bursted. He uses the ulti to try to keep himself alive as Dhokla disengages from the rest of the Golden Guardians. Licorice is into the back line, and he found the shutdown on the enemy mid laner. Golden Guardians may have just found what they're looking for. River gets the kills. It's 3 dead on NRG. Dhokla's going to be the last man standing as IgNar falls. A double kill back over to Gori, and an ace for 1. The Golden Guardians come to life.
Massive fight there for Golden Guardians. How much gold can they clean off the map now? They have the wave mid. They're going to push up there, get at least 1 or 2 towers off this as well. And they're clawing back in this game. They finally find a fight, and everything goes wrong for NRG.
It's what you were saying, Isaac. Up until you find that one moment, the poke comp just looks unplayable. But when you finally close the distance and get to beat on him a little bit, you can get yourself back in the game. Let's take another look.
Double TP, just full send here from everyone. Gori knows he has to take the claw no matter what and just go. Honestly, like, I mean, it looks so bad even here for Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
But Licorice is just doing so much work in this fight.
Exactly.
The whole game, honestly, like not just this fight, the whole game he's been targeted by the early game from Nidalee, and he's been just doing so well in lane, in side lane, in this team fight here. Even earlier, he was only 5ing earlier in the last team fight. He's actually a one-man army this game.
I mean, it's crazy. And last game he was dominating the lane. Licorice is just kind of...
It's tough being a coach, bro.
Yeah, years being taken off his life. Licorice was just able to kind of flip a switch. Coming into playoffs last split, he just started playing so much better.
Yeah.
You look at how much damage he got done. Obviously, Stixxay a big contribution there as well. But now the problem is you got to do it again, and then you got to do it again. And now there's a Zhonya's on the FBI, which is going to make that even harder. There's almost a GA done for Palafox, so they're building up these tools that are going to make their life really difficult. But clearly, Golden Guardians are trying to get to the dragon early. They want to control vision in the enemy jungle.
The gold lead has collapsed. Yes, it's still plus 2,500 for NRG, but it was up to almost 7.5K earlier after they had their big major play. So huge turnaround here for the Golden Guardians, excuse me, as we have under a minute and a half, though, until the soul spawns for NRG. Golden Guardians need to be there early. They need to be ready to go. If they're just playing dodgeball walking up to the river, that's going to be Mountain Soul for NRG, which makes the game a whole lot harder.
A big problem for Golden Guardians is that they can't trade Baron for Dragon. It'll be sold for NRG. So NRG could just say like, hey, we'll give the Dragon and go Baron side. Now we have control of the area and we can actually try to, you know, use our control to hit that poke. But if Golden Guardians goes to where NRG is, they will lose.
Yeah.
Look at this though, man.
Here, Yeah.
Two stopwatches, GA finished, and Zhonya's.
This Viego is not getting reset again.
Yeah,
no,
That was his last team fight of the game.
That
is
team
tough.
fight, the graph said he did about 3,000 damage in that team fight. That's going to end up being the vast majority of his damage for the whole game just because of how difficult it is for him to get in there. Accelerated Shock Blast going to hit huhi. Again, the name of the game, just poke for energy from start to finish. It's all they're trying to do. Golden Guardians trying to contest this vision here. The Baron is live. The Drake going to spawn here in 20 seconds.
Licorice is a brick wall, though. He has a Force of Nature done now, too. So 4 full items done. He's a full item up on Dhokla. And he really is the hope because he is the one guy that can take that poke without actually taking too much damage. So forget the side lanes at this point. Group with the team. Try to be that guy who can bully your way in. They absolutely cannot give up Soul.
It just feels so hard for Golden Guardians here because they can't trade objectives. While the enemy has Kai'Sa as well. So they can just burn out Baron so fast if you ever leave. It's a hard position to be in for Golden Guardians. Look at who he's just getting.
Do you think you should just send one member down and try to solo Dragon if you're Golden Guardians?
It takes too long, I think.
Ooh.
Void Seeker,
Ear lands.
Spears, Traps, another one. Oh, it's so frustrating to watch even. Can't imagine what they feel like in the game here. Even being down 1-0 makes this even worse. You know, you're thinking,
They're losing Soul.
you're thinking about it.
Yep.
I feel like
Palafox.
that's got to be the end. Like, if you lose it's Mountain Soul as well, it's like
The best soul in the game. In this particular
in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have, the only way you win is
They're
hard
losing 1v5 to Kai'Sa.
Oh my God, he just killed him. FBI with a Void Seeker. He's dead in the dirt for the next 41 seconds. Golden Guardian staring down the barrel of a 4v5 as NRG's control over the top side. River just got a whole lot easier. Poke lands onto Gori too, takes a third of his HP away. This comp is suffocating the Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I think I won't say it's GG because I've seen worse throws recently this weekend.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it. There was,
I saw your reaction during those player camps.
dude, it was so funny. I looked up, I was in disbelief that we won somehow. I looked at Revenge on the other side. He's also in disbelief that they lost. We're both doing the same pose, like, no way this has happened.
The two different sides of the no way reaction.
Yep. But I don't even know. Golden Guardians have to do the same thing again. Just TP walk behind, just full send, and just hope that the Sonyas and the GAs aren't enough to buy time.
Now IgNar even has a stopwatch. So they have 5. They have GA plus
They really
4
hate him.
stopwatches.
Even the redemption just to like not lose, I guess. Or not,
It is honestly really hard to think of a winning team fight for Golden Guardians. Even if you have the perfect flank from this situation, the stopwatches should buy enough time that there's never a reset. It's like it would have to be catastrophic.
I think NRG definitely has one in the bag. But I've said that before about NRG.
Yeah.
They had some of the, I think the worst throws early in the season, like the
Their
biggest
first
goal.
Immortals one was the 10 or 12.
Oh yeah, the 12,000 gold.
Yeah.
That was a tale to tell. Well, let's see if they can make this one a little bit cleaner than that. 4,500 gold, man. Mountain Soul. They've got the Baron for another 2 minutes still. They have everything they should need to close this one out. They can set up shop outside the enemy base here with the Baron up minion wave. Just keep on shooting out those Void Seekers, those Spears, those Shock Blasts. And all they do is just need anything to hit, right?
Yep.
You don't have to have 100% accuracy because eventually you're going to hit something, and that's when the Golden Guardians will no longer be able to defend.
Also nearing the point where now if FBI hits W's, he actually might take it and just go in and just kill you one shot at this point.
Oh, yeah.
One W hits, you can now wait 2 seconds for the next W and then R ult behind them and just W while you're flying and no counterplay. You're just dead on the spot.
Yep, I mean, late game, it's like, your CDR gets so low, you hit 2 Ws, that procs the plasma, they just die.
He has Sonyas, he has Flash, he can easily go for it and then just press Sonyas in the fight, use the E, evolve.
Licorice.
There's just no engage. There's no ward behind him. There's nothing they can do. Gori can go in, but it won't work if he goes like this.
Yeah. He throws out the claw. You saw NRG didn't even back up because they know if he goes in,
they don't care.
It's just it's food delivery service.
Mountain Soul right in front of them. It's just so hard. Even if Gori actually hits a good engage, who follows up?
And there's no wards. There's no wards, right? You look at the map, like these are your only TP wards is over here. Which
Well, they're ready to go. Gori trying to go in, but he's going to be locked down and blown up before he even has the chance. Dhokla stasis prevents any sort of a counter punch. It's huhi tries to walk it off, but a double kill over to FBI means the fight is already done. There's nobody left standing for the Golden Guardians. Licorice will not have his hero moment today as he tries to flash out and keep him distracted, but Void Seeker made it way too easy. The poke comp reigns supreme, and NRG riddles him full of holes. They're going to take the win in this one in 37 minutes. No way that River can hold on here. NRG are moving the match point 2-0 against the Golden Guardians.
This is not what I thought was going to happen today. When I came into studio today, I was like, this is not in my Yeah.
I think a lot of people
even
are probably
the
in that same boat
possibilities.
with you, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, Golden Guardians have to just cope that the first game was a win for them and just, I think, drop the ego. ban Kai'Sa. FBI is having such a good time on it.
Oh,
11-1 in first game, 8-1 in second
he
game.
looks so confident on it too, and I think Golden Guardians need 1, huhi on an engage champ, 2, ban Kai'Sa, and then 3, they need to get Licorice a matchup where he can shine.
Yeah.
Something more aggressive top, not a direct matchup where you just auto lose no matter what you do, right? Like,
Yeah.
Put the matchup top to something like a Jax versus Xante or like.
But how do you do that? They're banning Jax Rumble and then they're
Yeah.
blinding Renekton. So what's the
Just
answer?
gotta ban Renekton, I think, away from Dhokla. It's too easy to just pick and just neutralize your opponent.
Yeah.
So you gotta just force some sort of like, I don't know what happens top end once you ban the Jax, the Renekton, the Rumble. You know, what do you top even play? You say Xante, blind pick maybe, and then you pick Gwen. You know,
Yeah, you play
something
Gwen
like
into it,
this.
or
You try to like
Fiora.
force the skill matchup. Always play on your best player on the day. Right now it's Licorice. You just have to make him your main carry, I think.
I mean, I think Licorice, even in both the losses, was clearly a standout, right? And he was looking really, really good. But I agree, it's big adjustments now. And you have to just wonder, how is your mental? Because game 1, losing a game that you were winning feels so bad.
Yeah.
And then you go into game 2 where you're playing basically bullet hell, just trying to dodge skill shots the entire time with what felt like no chance to win.
Yeah.
And now you have to reverse sweep to try to have a chance.
Golden Guardians have been there before. It's not their first rodeo in playoffs. Maybe the org, not the players.
Yeah.
And they can say, guys, first game we were so far ahead. It's basically a win, right? So that's their cope. I think just change draft, give huhi some engage power, some more agency. The Maokai is just not it. It looked terrible both games, even though NRG won with it the first game.
Well, times are tough for the Golden Guardians as NRG command a 2-0 lead. We're going to head on over to the LCS Lounge to break that one down.
Thank you. Yeah.
2-0.
NRG up 2-0, as Mark predicted.
I guess they'll 3-0. Oh, I thought it was going to be a 3-1.
Yeah, it's 3.
I didn't even believe in them this much.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I'm so
predicted
used
the
to you
GG
predicting
3-2.
3-0. I predicted... I'm already donezo.
NRG
we'll
3-1, make it a 3-0. Let's go. They're
Let's
gonna
take a
close this
look
out.
at Nidalee Renekton. Everyone hates this. One thing I do want to point out is Contractz' early path. He starts red, Krugs, birds. You're expecting him to go top, right? Because there's a big old fat Renekton up there. No, he goes bot instead.
Cheeser.
And again, I think when NRG have been at their best both last year and this year, it was absolutely from Contractz getting involved early. Their insane first blood rate previously last year was part of that as well.
Well, that's also what I was saying at the top of the show is Contractz is a bit of a psychopath jungler. He just has games that he wins on his own pre-5 minutes. And this game wasn't quite that extreme because they're playing this poke comp, and everyone hates the poke comp, both the team playing it and the team playing against it. And they did a really good job of actually getting enough of a lead with the poke comp that the engages in the mid game required really high execution out of Golden Guardians.
Here's my weird hot take about this game, though. Like, the early game seemed like this win could be because of Nidalee, but then this happened, so then it just became a win, I think, because of Jayce and Kai'Sa.
Yes.
Like, yes, Nidalee Spears landed, but if that's a Maokai jungler and he's saplinging people that makes the Jayce and the Kai'Sa poke easier to land, the comp is just better. So I think they played this really well. Like, I do actually think they played the poke really well, but for me, it was actually more about the Jayce Kai'Sa poke than it was about the Nidalee poke.
I think the Nidalee added enough at times to actually force Golden Guardians off of objectives, because sometimes you land some poke and it's like, okay, we're still starting the fight, but we're at 60% HP. There were a lot of times where huhi got so low, he just couldn't do anything. And I think that speaks to how well NRG played, because as you heard the casters talking about, notoriously with these comps, it's like, great, you get a 2K Goldie because you have prio in every lane and you're really annoying, and then you lose the game. But they were so aggressive, especially with calls like this.
This was a little close, if I remember. Yeah.
And even here, huhi flashes in and then kind of abandons frontlining Stixxay. I wonder if they could have slow played it a little bit more. I don't know.
The Trist Maokai bottom lane just is not it. Like, I think, as the cast was saying, this series is in such a weird spot because I think Golden Guardians legitimately was in winning positions in game 1 multiple times.
Yes.
And I really don't like the draft. Like, I just really don't like what they set up here. They don't have prio top. They have the Lissandra that needs to all-in initiate, but they don't have other ways to set up a Lissandra to follow. It seemed really, really hard to play.
I mean, it's one of these drafts where you're like, well, they're not good enough to execute this, and we have all the tools to punish it.
Yeah.
So it's like we have so much engage and so many resets through a team fight. If we just get a flank, they're dead. But then NRG actually played.
NRG is good.
I mean,
they played the hard parts of the game well.
That's the surprising thing to me, because we saw both them and TL flub these poke comps last week
Yes.
when the two played. And so it's obviously a risk because you're just going to get kind of dunked on again if you mess this up. So credit to NRG for looking improved since they last tried to trot this out.
Well, you bring up NRG last week versus TL, who's not technically an air quotes good team. If you pull that up, Emily, I think you have to do the whole.
I mean, NRG did beat TL.
There we go.
There we go.
But they were a top 4 team. They were a top 4 team, so it counts in this. This is not counting today, so they're actually 11-3.
Yes.
Versus top 4 now. And who cares about 3?
Yeah, just black it out.
If they never go losers bracket.
Just cover the right
There,
side because they're playing good teams in playoffs.
There we go.
Win quality more important than loss quality. Fact or fiction?
Usually.
Fact today.
Okay.
Today it's a fact.
All right, fair enough.
Other days it's fiction.
So I will say as well, for NRG, I love these guys. They've been playing well for multiple splits in a row, but they haven't had the make everyone acknowledge how great they are, and they keep getting snubbed as a result. And so if you take down a team that's stacked with first and second team All-Pro, every single one is first or second, not even third team All-Pro out of Golden Guardians, and you have none, what does that say?
Golden Guardians got too much credit. No, I don't know.
And they didn't get enough. It says both.
Yes, it says both. And I also do think Golden Guardians had a great split. This has just been a really bad 2 games for them.
Yeah.
And it still could be even more historic because both NRG and Golden Guardians as orgs have 0 Worlds appearances. Yes, when NRG was COG, they had more, but they do not inherit their history as per what NRG wanted. Golden Guardians still looking for their first Worlds appearance. A lot of people thought it would be today, because they were 13-5. They were pretty big favorites coming into the series, but now they have to win 3 games in a row, and NRG just has to win 1 of 3.
I also think about how much this would mean for, in particular, Dhokla and Palafox, right? Who have kind of been the 2 NA solo laners who have really said, we are here, we want to win, we want to go to Worlds. Oh man, Palafox is so excited already.
I worry a little bit that they're too hyped up. Because this is such a big moment for them, for the underappreciated team. Palafox and Dhokla have never been to Worlds. It is actually really hard to close these series when you're the surprise 2-0 team up.
Yeah, the fact that they have had 3 straight regular seasons where they finished top half of the league but have not attended any international tournaments so far makes me so excited for NRG if they can close this one out.
Yep. Well, you said put up or shut up to NRG. They're 1 game away from doing that. Golden Guardians chooses blue side going into game 3, coming after the other side of the break.
Okay. Oh, on us? Go, 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 go!
It looks good, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm looking at Viego.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trista. I'm coming too with ult if they ever can.
Looks good. Huhi coming in here with a Nature's Grasp trying to follow this one up. River is low, but he's still alive for now. Huhi, River, and Stixxay looking to turn back on the Palafox, but FBI is going to kill her instinct, and River is down. He uses the ulti to try to keep himself alive as Dhokla disengages from the rest of the Golden Guardians. Licorice is into the back line, and he found the shutdown on the enemy mid laner. Golden Guardians may have just found what they're looking for. River gets the kill. It's 3 dead on energy. Dhokla's going to be the last man standing as IgNar falls. A double kill back over to Gori, and an ace for 1. The Golden Guardians come to life. There you go. Gori trying to go in, but he's going to be locked down and blown up before he even has the chance. Dhokla's stasis prevents any sort of a counter punch as Huhi tries to walk it off, but a double kill over to FBI means the fight is already done. There's nobody left standing for the Golden Guardians.
I missed 3 spears in my jungle camps this game. It was kind of embarrassing.
3 spears on what? Yeah, I watched a spear come out mid lane. I was like, oh, what are you doing, hon?
I've got the Samsung 990 Pro series. Shall we get started then? The speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. Through the in-house controller, the per-watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller for its smart thermal solution technology controls heat. Playing computer games? Obviously the best.
Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
typical beginner's mistake.
Yes, they all start from the outside.
So, will we help him?
What else? Here, try it with Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings.